Welcome to People of RiteTag Past and Present, a video interview series to highlight the people who have helped make RiteTag into what it is today and who have helped develop the foundation for tomorrow. Today we get to meet Joeleen Moy. She was a PR intern in the latter part of 2013, and I say let's just dive right in. Hi Joeleen, welcome. Tell us what you did for RiteTag.
So during my time at RiteTag, I was a PR and marketing intern. It was the second half of my first year of college. So I was very green, very fresh, no idea what I was doing, honestly, and Saul really kind of took a leap of faith and gave me a chance. And I was just able to learn so much. I was doing community management through messaging people, helping out whenever I could, whenever they were running into troubles using the product, and just creating live original content for our blog, and then also doing an internal newsletter called the Right Times, which kind of kept everyone on the same page, which was a little difficult at the time, everyone being everywhere in the world. And it was just a really great internship experience that I was really happy to have under my belt at such an early stage.
Do you mind talking a little bit more about the Right Times? Like, we're such a distributed team, and so having a publication, I can see how that would be really helpful to help maintain cohesiveness.
Right, yeah. So you kept everyone updated on big life events, when people got married, new things that were coming up. RiteTag mentioned in the news through different publications and media outlets, and also just kind of keeping everyone in the loop with updates on RiteTag itself, things that we were working on, things that were to-do list, and kind of just making sure everyone's on the same page, like for social, for work life, for everything.
So you were like our Outlook, Talkwalker, and co-schedule all in one, right?
Yeah, I kind of got to curate all of that, which was a lot of fun. So after that, I kind of jumped around a few different jobs. I'm still in school, so I have one more year left.
And your school is where?
Is in New York City, yeah, Baruch College. So it's a pretty great environment. I get to learn a lot. So right now I'm looking to do the creative side of advertising, which is where I'm working at now for my summer internship currently. And just RiteTag was able to give me so much foundation and kind of give me this really cool experience. I think a lot of employers really look for internships at startups just because of the environment and the culture that is a startup. And it just really allows students and whoever really to get a bunch of experience about all these different things and just meet all these really cool and like-minded people that are entrepreneurial, that are willing to get their hands dirty and just really dig into projects, because that's what startups need.
It's funny, like working with a startup has really been eye-opening for me. Like my mom, she keeps asking, have you checked the Better Business Bureau to check if this thing is really legit? And I'm like, it's not really like that kind of thing, Mom. But I think that there are a lot of people who really don't know about the culture of startups and how just like being a part of a team that's got a dream can really contribute to so much of the experience that builds character in today's very different business world. And it's like the more interviews I conduct and the deeper I immerse myself in the SaaS world, I'm constantly being met with this running theme as I listen to persons who have put in the time to work with a startup. Employers and hiring managers really do appreciate the kind of skills that people like us acquire.
Yeah, I think it's still pretty new, and just people don't really understand that how scrappy kind of the environment is and how hardworking that you need to be. It's not your usual 9 to 5. Like, I remember being on calls with Saul, like when it was daytime in Japan, and like I just finished like bussing tables at night here in New York. So it was super scrappy, worked hard whenever you needed to be working on something, and just really got your hands dirty like in every aspect of the business, which was so amazing, and just a really valuable experience that really pushed me to kind of figure out what I wanted to do, even though it wasn't exactly what I was doing at RiteTag.
So you mentioned joining Saul in calls during his daytime in Japan. How supported did you feel by him and other team members to meet you in your space and time?
Saul was always like very accommodating. We had set times where we know we were going to meet, and it was kind of like in the middle and a good time for everyone, which somehow works amazingly. I don't really know how, but people definitely made sacrifices to kind of accommodate other people, and it's so great because it's like a family. It's super small, very close knit. It's not like giant, huge. You don't know the people that you're working with. Like you see them every week at least, and you're talking to them online like constantly. So it's really cool.
Another theme that seems to be emerging from these interviews is like what you're talking about. So far now, I've interviewed someone from web, mobile, and now with you, PR. Each one of you have mentioned how important being connected and close to the team has been to your overall experience with RiteTag. I think it's pretty cool that you had such a big part in creating avenues for everyone to be close with the right times. Um, it also makes me think about how vital that kind of inner network is to probably the whole scope of any company who's trying to provide a service. Since your internship, are there things that stand out about our leadership, culture, pace, or how RiteTag gets things done?
Yeah, I think it was something I didn't notice at first when I started, just because RiteTag was my first internship experience. But afterwards, I definitely really noticed and appreciated Saul's leadership. It takes a lot to keep a team that's all over the world together. It takes more than an internal newsletter for sure. And just Saul's like energy and his passion for the product and for RiteTag and the community around it was just really a huge motivational factor for me. And it was something that I would continue to look for in leadership at the jobs and internships that I apply to in the future. Like I always want to be under the leadership of someone who will continually try to make me perform the best I can and make me create the best content that I can, and also giving me the tools to enable me to do that. So it's something I definitely noticed. And the culture of RiteTag is unlike anything that I've worked with before or since, just because we're not together physically, but just able to work together as a team and to really be on the same page, which is something that's crazy. I mean, it's tough to get people into a conference room together now, or even just like kind of schedule meetings and figure out time with someone like one-on-one in person. If I wanted to meet up with someone from school or something, it's so hard to schedule that time. But at RiteTag, it was always pretty easy and just kind of like sending someone a message, hey, I need like 15 minutes right now or tonight later if you have time. It was something that was always really cool, like a really close-knit community.
Oh, yeah, like I love it. I've struck some really invaluable relationships with some of the developers, like just through communicating together in our Slack. Like I'll get a message, hey, I don't know anything about social. Can you help me out? And I'm like, sure, of course, yeah. Like I already look to devs like they're like gods or something. So the opportunity to be able to help someone is like unreal to me. I just want to jump in and make time. Sometimes in talking with other friends who work in PR and community, um, it seems like they don't always have the same experience. It's like they tend to feel really stratified. Here's the dev team, here's the PR team, and they don't do a lot of collaboration. Where I found with RiteTag, like we're in there together. Yeah, we have our different channels, but we recognize that everyone's there because they've got a strength, and like we're more than happy to um, lend ours because we know that it's been given to us probably by someone else taking time to help out?
I think one thing that I've taken away is like I'm always like kind of rooting for the people that I knew like when I was at RiteTag at the time. Like if I see them on LinkedIn, they got a new job or they got like promotion, I'm always like, oh cool, that's awesome. Like I'm really glad, I'm really happy for that person. So it's really exciting to kind of just be a part of this community that's like continually growing. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about how you very first came to RiteTag. What drew you in?
So I think like as a freshman, everyone's just really hungry. Like I need to get some experience, and I kind of got really lucky with RiteTag. I had a friend who was also interning there at the time, and so I was kind of like immediately drawn to this like startup kind of this startup, I guess, yeah. Um, and I knew that there was like this whole thing where it wasn't your usual office job, and that you got to try a lot of things. Like that was something even people who were in college at the time told me to like definitely try a startup. You need to try a startup at one point in your college career, like because that's the time to try things and see what sticks. So I was really excited to kind of just be a part of the team and really grow and learn. I remember like the first meeting that I had with Saul and a few of the other interns, I kept quiet the whole time and they were just talking about all these things that were going on, and I had this notepad in my lap and I was writing down all the words I didn't know, and for like an hour after the meeting I was just Googling like crazy all of these words like SEO, SEM. I was a freshman, I was being like thrown into the water, and there's things that were so valuable to me later on that really helped me nail interviews and like land jobs. So it's been really amazing.
All right, so we covered your time with RiteTag and what drew you there in the first place. Can you share a bit about your transition when it came time to move to something else?
Yeah. So one of the next jobs that I had after RiteTag was for an office furniture company in New York, and it's a small-ish, like medium-sized family-owned business, and they were looking to increase their online web presence and create original content. So I read the job description. I was like, that's kind of what I did at RiteTag, and like all the background knowledge that Saul gave me. He was the one who really pushed me to learning SEO and SEM. And I was like, okay, I don't really know what I'll use this for. But turns out it was the main reason I got that job. And I was able to kind of revamp their website with the help of a few freelancers and just really kind of increase sales. I saw like statistical results, which is amazing, like business driven results. And it was just really great because I was able to use everything, literally everything that I learned at RiteTag, and kind of translate that into the next thing. One of the proudest things was Saul like pushing me to do SEO. I was able to take that website and push it to like the first page, fifth result in Google when you search for it. We'll search for like office furniture in New York City without using paid, which was something that my manager at the time wanted me to do. So
Wow, so organic SEO versus paid. Good job.
yeah, scrubbing the site, doing everything I could to kind of just bump us up and do everything right for Google. Yeah, it was really exciting. I guess it was something that was super important in the early days. I learned a lot under Saul. It definitely wasn't me for the most part. Yeah, it definitely wasn't me.
Collaboration, right? It's always collaboration.
Yeah, I learned a lot during my time at RiteTag, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity to have been able to work with Saul and so many other amazing people that were there at the time. And it was just a really great experience where I got to kind of grow as a person and just really learn to work with others and be an entrepreneur and push myself and always kind of try to be the best and ask questions and figure out why we're doing things and what's working, what's not working. It was a really amazing experience. I would recommend it to anyone who has the opportunity. You'll learn a lot. Just ask questions and bother Saul all the time with questions.
Thank you for coming and for sharing your experiences with us. It's been really great to have you. Do you have any last sage advice for anyone looking to join a startup?
Be curious and always question why things are going the way they're going, why you're doing this, why you're doing that. because once you do that, you kind of start opening the doors for like all these possibilities of things that you can do better, maybe might fail at, but that's okay because we'll just keep chugging along. I think that's just the way to kind of make the most out of the experience and just really be the best version of yourself that you could be.